Welcome to the Kennedy Report. I'm Kennedy Hall. If you haven't heard, Pope Francis will be consecrating Russia and the Ukraine. I know you're not supposed to say the Ukraine, but Russia and Ukraine on March 25th to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Now, if you have been a Fatima fan, Fatima purist, fundamentalist, whatever word they use to sort of say it's bad to be too into Fatima. If you've been into Fatima for a long time, you know that this is a pretty big deal. There has never been a successful consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Now, the Pope has announced that he will be consecrating Russia and Ukraine. And he did not say that he would be including all of the bishops in the world, which Our Lady requested. 1929, those are the instructions she gave to Sister Lucia, to have Russia consecrated by name and to have all of the bishops in the world at the same time, in union with the Pope, consecrating the nation. So, a few questions remain. One, does it make it bad or is it nullify the act if it's Russia and Ukraine? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. Here's a way of looking at it, though. If you ask your children to do something, let's say you ask them to clean their room, and they came to you and they said, well, we didn't clean our room, but we cleaned the attic. Are you happy? You might be, in a sense, happy that they cleaned their attic because the attic was dirty, but you wouldn't be happy that they disobeyed your request and didn't actually do what you asked. That's kind of what it's been like in the past with the failed consecrations. You know, Pope John Paul II did multiple, consecrating the world or entrusting the world sort of thing, but never Russia specifically. Now, if you asked your child to clean their room and they came to you and said, we cleaned the attic and our room, would you be upset with your child? I don't know. I mean, personally, as a father, I would be happy if my children said that they cleaned their room, like I asked, and also because of some pressing needs decided they were going to clean another room. That's one way to look at what's happening right now. I know some people are going to say we're supposed to do exactly as Our Lady asked. I agree. I'm not saying that I'm validating this different variation. I'm just saying the Pope has said he will consecrate Russia by name. That's something that hasn't been done. That's very interesting. Secondly, though, Our Lady said that she wanted all the bishops in the world to do it at the same time, alongside the Pope. Let's hash that out for a second here. What would it mean for all the bishops in the world to do it at the same time? I was talking to a good priest last night, and in a perfect world, which we don't live in, it would be foolproof, or let's say close to it, if every bishop had like the same script and they all synchronized their watches. You know, it was 2 a.m. in Tokyo and, 6 p.m. in Rome, whatever the time difference is there, and 9 in the morning in Seattle or wherever the bishops are. And they decided to all do it at the same exact time. That's one option. But then again, we can't believe, it would be too much for us to think that if they didn't all say the exact same words at the exact same chronological moment in time to the second, like military precision, if they don't do that, then somehow it's a failure. That wouldn't fit the way that our Catholic faith works either, because there's always this aspect of intent. So I was talking to this priest and he said, you know what, it would probably suffice if it was, all the bishops with the Pope did it on the same day. So all the bishops in the world did it on March 25th. That might be good enough for the same time. I don't know. That's just what he said. I agree, though, to be honest. Another thing, though, I said, Father, well, it's practically impossible that every single bishop in the world would say the same thing on the same day without exception. Now, it's been proposed by some priests, like our good friend Father Isaac, that the Pope could say those who choose not to do it would be automatically excommunicated by some special decree. And that's possible. But even there, the way that church law works, for somebody to be penalized, they actually have to intend to do something against the laws of the church. So, for example, you're a bishop and you are, you take the subway to your parish. Maybe you live in a big city. You don't have a car. I don't know. Or you walk, or, whatever, who knows? You got reasons why you don't drive, or maybe you do drive and you get in a car accident, or the subway breaks down, or civil war breaks out and you can't get to mass and you don't have the rubric. Who knows? I mean, maybe you're a bishop on the other side of an iron curtain in a communist place, or you're in prison, or there could be a lot of reasons why. It'd be rare, but there could be a lot of reasons. Maybe you fall ill. Maybe you're on your way to do the consecration. You've synchronized your watch and you're going to go with the Pope at the same time. And you're going to say the consecration, the exact same language as the Pope, just to be sure. I mean, you're doing everything. And then you fall ill with like a violent stomach bug. And you have to run to the washroom. I mean, there's all these possible things that can happen. So I was talking to this priest and he said, it's like with an ecumenical council. For something to be a valid ecumenical council, they say things like you need to have all the bishops in the world in union with the Pope. But it's never the case that every single bishop in the world, without exception, is able to attend and participate in an ecumenical council for all the reasons I just said, including travel and so forth. So how can it be that we have all the bishops in union with the Pope? Well, what we have is we have something called a moral majority, meaning the body of bishops is represented by the vast majority of bishops who, on behalf of the bishops, do what the Holy Father is asking, or the council is asking, or whatever, and that represents the totality of bishops. That seems to work in church history. Again, not every single bishop without fail can be at every session of every council for various reasons. But they can send their correspondence. They can say, I will unite myself in prayer. I mean, there's lots of different reasons, the ways they can do it. That's possible for this as well. But now you might be thinking, Kennedy, Pope Francis has not commanded all the bishops to do the consecration with the Pope. That's true. He hasn't. But Our Lady didn't say the Pope must command them all to do it. It's just that they all need to. Well, here's the thing. I've got an article here. The Ukrainian bishops, apparently they've been asking for this for a while. The Ukrainian bishops are asking bishops across the world to unite with Pope Francis in consecrating Russia. It says the Ukrainian Catholic prelates have welcomed news of the consecration of Russia as an answer to a request for many years. But Archbishop Shevchuk followed the March 15th announcement about the coming consecration. And he said, we are grateful to the Holy Father for first of all accepting Our Lady's requests manifested during the apparition of July 13th, 1917 in Fatima, to protect and her children, to protect Ukraine and stop the errors of Russia that promote wars and persecution of the church. Then he went on to say, to say that he actually wants the bishops of the world to help in the consecration, to unite themselves. Pretty interesting. Now you might be thinking, well, that's real nice, but Pope Francis hasn't commanded that. That may be true, but here's the thing. Ukraine is on everybody's mind right now. I mean, whatever you think about the war, I mean, everyone's got the Ukrainian flag in their bio. I mean, there's a million reasons why people are supporting Ukraine right now. The Ukrainian bishops asking for help from the international community is actually kind of a big deal. So, more good news. The Latin American bishops have decided that they're going to join Pope Francis in consecrating Russia. So this is another article from LifeSite News, 22 Episcopal conferences of the continent. That's hundreds of bishops. Hundreds. Huge amount of bishops. There's a lot of bishops in Latin America. We still have 9 days until this thing takes place. That's 9 days for novena. It says the conference received the announcement of the consecration of Pope Francis with great hope and joy, saying, we reiterate our affection and filial communion with the Bishop of Rome, raising our pleas to God our Father so that through the intercession of the Blessed Virgin, he will grant us the gift of peace. So now we have a massive amount of bishops saying that they're going to join the Pope. It could be that the African bishops decide. By the time this video is released, it could be by the time the day's over. It could be that the bishops of North America. Really, it could be that the bishops of Asia and Europe. I mean, within a few days, you could have every single bishops' conference on earth saying it's at least our intention. Now, would that mean that every single bishop of the world participates in the same way in the consecration? I don't know. But it's looking like we might actually get to the point where we could have a moral majority representing the body of bishops like we do with an ecumenical council, uniting with the Holy Father in the consecration of Russia on the same day, which would satisfy perhaps the same time that Our Lady requested. We could be closer to this consecration than we ever thought possible. Okay. What can you do in the meantime? In the meantime, pray a novena. I don't know which one. Immaculate Heart, Immaculate for the Annunciation, because it falls in the Annunciation. I don't know. Whatever your favorite novena is, pray that one. And unite yourself in prayer. This thing might actually come true. Can you imagine? This has been the Kennedy Report. Until next time, God bless.